This is the caucus meeting for April 10th, 2024 in the council chambers. Presiding officer of the council, Milady Tejeda, wishes to advise the audience the notice of this meeting has been filed with the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, and posted on the bulletin board in the city's clerk's office and on the city's website, indicating that today's meeting is being held in the council chambers, City Hall, 260 High Street at 5:30 p.m. Right now it's 5:41 p.m. The council meeting will follow the caucus and the closed session. Council President Tejeda, as a courtesy of the governing body, I will ask all individuals present, including members of the audience, to please turn off all cell phones and electronic devices. Should you need to make a telephone call, please go out into the hallway and speak in a low voice so as not to disturb the ongoing meeting. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Present.
Councilwoman Morales?
Present.
Councilman Puccio?
Present.
Councilman Torres?
Present.
Council President Tejeda?
Present. Okay, right now we will have a mayoral citation to the following wrestling championship winners: Elizabeth Adebola, is that close enough? And Alaya Matias. Aliyah, okay. Mayor?
Thank you, Council President, and good evening, Council, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I'm here to recognize outstanding individuals from our community doing outstanding things. And I'm proud to present mayoral citations to these two amazing individuals. And also want to congratulate the coach, Rob Morales, who has been doing an outstanding job for many years in our beautiful city at Perth Amboy High School. And once again, it's an honor to present this mayoral citation. And the first one goes to Aliyah Matias in recognition of her remarkable achievements in both athletic and academics, including placing fourth in the state of New Jersey at 165 pounds, becoming the North 2 regional champion, and maintaining a stellar 4.1 GPA. Congratulations on your achievements and your accomplishments. You serve as a shining example of hard work, perseverance, and excellence in our community. Congratulations. Yeah, afterwards, I want to hear from each and every one of you, and I'm sure everyone in this room and everyone watching wants to do the same. So the next mayoral citation goes is presented to Elizabeth Adebola in recognition of your achievements as the 152-pound New Jersey State Wrestling Champion. Congratulations on that. Big deal. You can come forward. She's also a two-time North 2 regional champion and holder of an outstanding 4.3 GPA. The City of Perth Amboy proudly congratulates you. Your exceptional accomplishments serve as inspiration to our community, showcasing the values of hard work and excellence. Your athletic and academic perseverance demonstrate determination and excellence and resilience. Congratulations. And I'm going to call each of you up to the mic to say a few words. I know the coach, Rob Morales, you want to speak in behalf of them? I'll speak in behalf of them. Yes? Okay. So if they could come up with you too, come to the mic right here, and then later on, we could have the council.
Yes, first of all, thank you, Mayor. Thank you to council members for inviting us for this great award and great accomplishments on my wrestlers. These two are practice wrestlers. They practice each other, and as we say, iron sharpers iron, and they epitomize the true meaning of a student athlete. And Liz right now is deciding what college she's going to go to, and she didn't realize how much attention or how stressful it was going to be on which college she wants to go to, but she'll be successful in any school that she will attend. So right now it's Mercer Kearney, Vernia, just to name a few. But she got into every school she applied to. Iowa, Ohio State. And I'm looking for big things, and it doesn't matter what she does, she's going to be successful. And Aaliyah is just a sophomore, and I can't wait to what the next 2 years will bring, and she's going to work hard, and she's now the role model and our team captain. She haven't told her yet, but right now she's going to yell at me about that. But and spokesman. But yes, it's I've been here a long time, and we had a record breaker. This is the first time since 1992 that we had 2 region champions in our program, and Elizabeth has won 2 region championships, the only wrestler to do so, boy or girl. She's the fourth wrestler to earn 2 state medals. So she's done great things, and Aaliyah's done great things, and she's not done yet, and I can't wait till next year. Thank you so much for the recognition, and I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Chairs, I hate these chairs.
Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations. Is there something to do with this public hearing? I feel like Rocky said something about it.
Yes. Council President, I just also want to share that we're doing a lot of amazing things in Perth and Amboy, and like I mentioned before, outstanding individuals are doing outstanding things in our beautiful city. And sometime in the middle of May, we're going to have the state of the city to address the entire city, the entire community, of all the great things that's happening in the city of Perth Amboy, things that we have accomplished the last 3 years and going into the 4th, and also some of our future plans. Very exciting, and I'm very excited to make that announcement very soon once we have the details in place as far as date, time, and location. So once again, stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you. Our students are great. I always have so much admiration for what they do besides just studying, and that's why the reason why I got involved in the Board of Education earlier, and these are the things that our kids do. So I'm very proud of everything that is happening. Okay, let's continue. Ordinance public hearing, 5 minutes maximum per speakers per ordinance. An ordinance amending Chapter 432 inclusionary zoning of the city code requiring all applicable development to include a mandatory on-site affordable housing set aside.
Council President, if I
Yes.
may, this is still pending a action by the Superior Court.
Yes.
So what we would recommend is that the council vote to carry this to the April 24 meeting My understanding is that it will be, the court will act on it before then, so council will be ready on the 24th. The ordinance will be ready for council to act on the 24th.
Okay, so we'll be voting just to postpone it for
Yes.
then?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Ordinance number 2, an ordinance to amend an ordinance entitled, an ordinance designating restricted parking spaces for use by handicapped persons, ordinance number 380-85, and amendments adopted July 2nd, 1985, also known as Chapter 255A of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy. This is about deletions. Agenda, public comments. Citizen may address the council on any matter on the agenda which does not have its own scheduled public hearing. Citizens shall be permitted to speak once for a maximum of 5 minutes. Bids. Bids were received on March 19, 2024 for the following. Number 1, Parks and Public Properties Maintenance Contract for April 1st, 24 to November 8th, 24 with 2 one-year renewals. Custom and Care Services, Inc., $141,500 for each year. Number 2, Phase 3, 2023 Road Improvement Program, Washington Street. We got several. DLS Contracting, Inc., base bid, $223,514 with 52 cents. Additional alt bid, $94,187 with 50 cents. Cumulative bid number $327,702 with 2 cents. JADS Construction, the base bid was $239,389 with 32 cents. The ad-alt bid was $94,934 with 5 cents. The cumulative bid was $334,323 with 57 cents. Riverview Paving, base bid was $279,795 with 75 cents. Ad-alt bid was $109,441 with 85 cents. Cumulative bid, $389,237 with 60 cents. Top Line Construction Corp., base bid is $273,697 with 22 cents. Ad-alt bid was for $117,888 with 3 cents. Cumulative bid, $397,585 with 25 cents. BlackRock ENT LLC, base bid was $282,979 with 45 cents. Ad-alt bid was $116,113 with 30 cents. Cumulative bid was for $399,092 with 75 cents. S Brothers, Inc., base bid was $311,609 with 91 cents. Ad-alt bid, $118,222 with 60 cents. Cumulative bid was $429,832 with 51 cents. Number 3, Phase 1, 2023 Road Improvement Program, Isley Street, Thomas Street, Brock Avenue, and Anton Street. DLS Contracting, Inc., base bid was $690,565 with 95 cents. Ad-alt bid was $68,687. Cumulative bid, $759,252 with 95 cents. Crossroads Paving, base bid was $775,492. Ad-alt bid was $78,870. Cumulative bid was $854,362. JADS Construction base bid was $795,565.77. Ad alt bid was $59,076.10. Cumulative bid, $854,641.87. BlackRock ENT LLC base bid was $800,089.05. Ad alt bid was $77,755.45. Cumulative bid was $877,344.50. Riverview Paving base bid is $820,028.75. At alt bid, $64,910.95. Cumulative bid, $884,939.70. S Brothers Paving base bid was $827,482.75. Ad alt bid, $63,936.65. Cumulative bid, $891,419.40. Top Line Construction Corporate base bid was $878,522.42. At alternate bid, $73,763.60. Cumulative bid, $925,285.58. And Capital Paving and Contracting base bid was $923,829.85. At alt bid was $88,947.40, and the cumulative bid was $1,012,797.25. Reports. Fallon Parcheski, tax collector, submitted the monthly report of collection for the month of February 2024. Ordinance, first reading, no public discussion. An ordinance adopting the Woodbridge Perth Amboy redevelopment plan in accordance with the local redevelopment and housing law.
Council President, we're going to have a presentation on this plan. I read the plan. This seems like it's a very important matter. In the past, I had asked from the redevelopment agency to give us a presentation on any current or future plans that were in the works. So I think the public should hear on what this entails.
Okay. Is there
Good evening, Council. So today we have with us to answer any of your questions, we have technical questions regarding the process of this entire project that can be made to our attorney or the redevelopment agency's attorney, Joanne. We had to go with the conflict attorney, and that's why Joanne is here this evening. And we also have William Klosenberger, who is our planner, who worked with Woodbridge on the specifics of the plan. So any questions in particular, or?
Can you give
Like to start?
just an overview and then?
Sure thing. So
Please.
Joanne can start with an overview of the process, and then we'll be willing to answer any questions about the specifics to the plan if you have them.
So thank you for having me. Again, my name is Joanne Voss, and I'm from the firm Mariziti Falcon. We're serving the redevelopment agency as counsel in this particular matter. It's very nice to be before you all. My firm represented Para for years, in years past, so it's a pleasure to be here again. So the process is this. At some point, I don't know the date exactly, but this council adopted a resolution directing the planning board to undertake a study of this property. to determine whether it was in need of rehabilitation or redevelopment. That study was done last summer. After that, the study was presented at the planning board at a public hearing, and the planning board determined that the area should be determined to be an area in need of redevelopment, and they made the recommendation to the city council by resolution of the planning board. Came back here, city council agreed with that determination and adopted a resolution that declared the area in need of redevelopment, and also directed that a plan be prepared, a redevelopment plan. So a redevelopment plan essentially steps into the shoes of the zoning. A redevelopment plan will supersede any zoning and will determine what can be built there, and any conditions, special issues, so on and so forth. So Will can speak more about the uses that are permitted by the plan and any other questions about the redevelopment plan itself. But once that plan started being, thought about and prepared, we, the redevelopment agency, entered into a memorandum of understanding with the Woodbridge Township Redevelopment Agency in January of this year. And that MOU is a document that basically confirms our relationship as working partners in the advancement of a cohesive development of a unique site that straddles two different municipalities. So 65% of the property falls within Woodbridge boundary, and 35% of the property falls within Perth Amboy boundary. So we determined to work closely with Woodbridge, and the MOU sets out the parameters of our relationship, basically. So we're going to be working together going forward, and we did work together on the preparation of the redevelopment plan. So today, what is before you is an ordinance that would adopt the redevelopment plan. That's the first hearing. You would then adopt a resolution that would refer the redevelopment plan to the planning board for a consistency determination. That's a consistency review of the redevelopment plan and its consistency with the master plan. They have 45 days to comment on the redevelopment plan. They send it back to city council, and then the city council can adopt an ordinance adopting the redevelopment plan in full, and that would be the second hearing and with a public hearing involved. After that, we would seek to interview redevelopers who are interested in the property, do this as a joint task with Woodbridge, and we would designate a redeveloper jointly, and we would do that by resolution of PARA. And then we would start to negotiate a joint redevelopment agreement. Again, that would be if we reach a conclusion and we successfully negotiate a joint redevelopment agreement. It would be a three-party agreement between PARA, the designated developer, and Woodbridge Township's redevelopment agency. So that would, we would adopt that by resolution, authorize the execution of it by resolution, and then after that, the redeveloper would be able to approach each municipality's planning board separately. They have to be designated, we have to have an agreement before they can go to the planning board for site plan approval. And that's the legal process that is set out in the local redevelopment and housing law, and also the steps that PARA has traditionally taken. So I'm happy to answer any questions about the process or the law.
Anybody?
We are pretty sure I'm aware, and the other council members are aware of the process of how we got here today. What I'm more concerned is what type of development is being questioned? Because I see here on page 12 of the project, it lists warehouses. And so I see that warehouses is listed as a possibility of what might be put on that location. These are the questions that I'm trying to get to.
Absolutely.
We understand the process.
Understand, yep.
But
The
this is
lawyer-
more for the public, so the public could understand what redevelopment is thinking about possibly putting in this area.
Understood. Yep, the lawyer will sit down, and the planner and the executive director will take over. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.
Good evening, Council President, councilmen and women. My name is William Kurzenberger. I'm a planner with the planning firm Topology out of Newark, New Jersey, and a part of the planning team that serves your redevelopment agency here in the city. It's a pleasure to be back here before you all to discuss the Woodbridge Perth Amboy redevelopment plan. I'm certainly happy to address any specific questions that you may have, but I think if it pleases the council, I'll start with a good high-level overview of what the plan entails, and maybe we can take it from there. The plan calls for significant upgrades to various infrastructural elements, such as the separation of the combined sewer system outfall within the redevelopment area, the provision of new public streetscape amenities, and the creation of a new publicly accessible waterfront park where such access did not exist before. You had asked about contemplated allowable uses within the plan. Those comparable uses are comparable to those that are within the M2 industrial district. That's the underlying zoning district that the area is currently in right now. Although I will also note that it's omitted some of the less desirable uses, in my opinion, such as the unsightly outdoor storage facilities, among others.
So this is going off the old master plans for the uses, right? The possible uses for those locations?
Well, the uses are certainly consistent with what the master plan entails, and the redevelopment plan does include a section that outlines how the plan coincides with the master plan objectives. However, what I was referring to is the underlying M2 light industrial zoning as part of the city's land development ordinance. I would say the area is uniquely positioned to accommodate the uses that are contemplated in the plan, as it's away from the city's core commercial and residential areas and a short distance away from major regional highways. We've taken pretty special care to ensure that this plan takes appropriate measures to mitigate the potential visual impacts associated with those contemplated uses. And as such, the bulk standards are in many cases as rigorous, or in some cases more rigorous than those underlying zoning parameters within the M2 district. For example, the plan's yard setbacks and height are all the same as those within the M2 district, and the plan calls for a site buffer of 20 feet, where the M2 district currently calls for 10 feet. The plan also contains thoughtful architectural standards to ensure quality building materials and requirements for building articulation through changes in facade planes, offsets, building materials. In other words, this is not going to be a big plain box that's plopped on the site. And the plan also includes a set of green building standards that encourage sustainability features and techniques similar to those of LEED certified buildings, energy savings measures, and requires a detailed accounting of all those green building practices and infrastructure as part of any site plan application. Regarding traffic circulation, traffic will be kept from the city's main streets, owing, one, to its location, and will be ensured through a review and approval of a truck routing plan and a traffic impact study. And the plan requires the enhancement of pedestrian connections along all new and improved street frontages, including the provision of street trees, seating, lighting, trash receptacles, all the amenities that make for a quality streetscape. And safe pedestrian connections are also required for access to the aforementioned waterfront park. Finally, I'll note that any developer will be required, as I mentioned before, to provide that traffic impact study, truck routing plan, as well as a noise study to assess the performance of any proposed project, and that a stormwater management plan is going to be required as a part of any site plan application. Stormwater management, as I'm sure you all are aware, is a critical issue for the city. I would hope you'd agree that this plan has actively encouraged the revitalization of the site while taking appropriate measures to mitigate any unwanted impacts. But again, I'm happy to address any questions you may have.
Anything else? Anybody else? No. Everybody's good? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just want to say a couple of things. When I ran in 2020, I ran with a slate. That slogan was change. And one of the promises it made was not to continue warehousing in Perth, Amboy. But yet we just recently celebrated the groundbreaking for warehousing. And here I'm looking over this plan, and clearly on one of the pages, it states that what could be intended uses is warehouse. I think it's done a great disservice to our community. Our master plan hasn't been updated since 2003. When I first joined this council over 3 years ago, I stated that I believe in development, but I believe in responsible development. And before we move forward, we needed to update our master plan. Our population has grown, our infrastructure is antiquated. I don't think our roads and our sewage system could take this heavy trucking. And definitely with the increased accidents, we see that it is having a negative impact on our community. And the impact of the air quality of all of this trucking and warehousing has. It is sad that we haven't put our most important asset, our children, in the forefront and considered how these warehouses are going to impact the health of our children. I'm very health conscious. I take this very serious. This partnership. Partnerships are great if they're not one-sided. I was recently at a banquet celebrating YMCA in Perth Amboy and the partnership that we have with this community for the homeless. And this was exactly said, that Woodbridge has the need and Perth Amboy has the space. So here we are, where we are the dumping ground for the homeless, even though Woodbridge is 24.2 square miles, while Perth Amboy is 4.55 square miles, while Woodbridge has a 43,407 per capita income, and Perth Amboy has a 25,853 per capita income. Clearly, we're not the same. Clearly, we should be receiving more and not be receiving the burden of the other communities. We do have a beautiful waterfront, and we should do everything to preserve it. But what we have been doing is giving it away to warehouses, and we're not even creative enough to actually make these warehouses look nice. Yeah, you know, we had the Home Depot warehouse there. You know, they couldn't negotiate to paint a mural on it to make it look at least some aesthetics to make it look nice. Before at least we had a beautiful view of the waterfront. Now we're looking at this monstrosity, and at least we could have, painted and made it look nice or something. But we're selling our community out. We really need to take this seriously. People ran on promises of no warehouses, of change. There has been no change. There has been no change with redevelopment. And we still have the same players. We're still invested, we're still bringing in warehouses. And here we are, about to approve a plan that gives us possibilities of additional warehouses in the future. This isn't going forward. All the other surrounding communities are moving forward. Woodbridge, Metuchen, South Amboy, Sayreville, we could see it. When is it going to be our time? We have to have people in place who are going to look out for our interests.
Well, I feel that we are moving forward, but that's only the way you look at things, but that's the way I look at it.
Right, and I think like you were saying, that's just an option there. We don't know what the final outcome's gonna be. And then, I have to just say too, I know you were talking about Viridian, I guess the area there. I know warehouse is contemplated, it's going to be 3 parcels, which I'm sure we're all aware of. And one of those parcels might be a warehouse, and another parcel is going to be, because we're talking about the children, there'll be a passive recreational area. So getting recreation there as well. And lastly, and I have to say that it's good, I have to thank economic development for that they're going to remediate that whole area, the gateway area, and about 9 to 10 acres will be given to the city, where the city will decide what that will be specifically. And I don't want to say what that's going to be for those 9 or 10 acres, that front-facing parcel. But again, I think most importantly, a point that you brought up, and it's a salient point, hey, we talked about a master plan, we need to update it. And I have to thank Taji Vasquez on that, because we did have a master plan meeting, believe it or not, this week. And so they are moving it forward. I think the council may have voted on that contract like last year, honestly. It's just taking time for this separate agency to bring it up. So that's a good point that you're bringing up, and I'm glad our economic director is working on it. So thank you. But good point,
So
sir.
this
We are
is going
working on
to
that.
impact one of our main arteries, and St. Patrick's Day proved that we really don't have control over that artery when Perth Amboy wound up on national news on how we lost control over that main artery. Over 3 years ago, one of the first things that I voted no on that came in through redevelopment was a development that was supposed to go in that same area on right there on Smith and Convery, a Wawa. And it was approved, I believe, over 3 years ago. What is going on with this, with this project? It was approved over 3 years ago. When is it going to become to fruition?
So you're addressing the Smith Street LLC project on the corner of Smith and Convery. That does have a redevelopment agreement, and they're in works. They've already received consistency plan. They've gone to the planning board. They're working with DEP now for permitting and processing. So they're on time, they're on schedule, and the plan is moving forward.
Thank you. Number 2, an ordinance authorizing a lease management agreement between the County of Middlesex and the City of Perth Amboy for the design, construction, and maintenance of a park to be located at 410 Fayette Street, Block 107, lots 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Council President. Is this the parcel of land that's on the 440 connector?
Council President, the agreement that you're looking at today is on the corner of Fayette and the 440 connector for a pocket park that the county will be constructing. They will be paying for the construction of that park, and then the city will lease that park for a 99-year term if you approve this agreement this evening for $1 a year.
Who is the park intended for the usage? Who do you think is going to use this park?
So the park is for all city residents. It is going to be an pocket park, passive, so there's not going to be swings and slides. We have been in conversation with the county for what amenities will be included in that park. We're talking benches, shade structures, a gazebo, some charging stations, chess and domino tables. We do have a large residence of seniors who live directly across the street, about 100 apartments or 100 units right directly across the street. So we intend, or we know that they will be utilizing this space. And if we're talking regarding, obviously we're incorporating all measures, including safety measures, fencing, bollards, lighting, et cetera.
Responsible development. That intersection is probably one of the most dangerous intersections in this city. And to not have any traffic provisions that's going to address this, especially when we're anticipating seniors to cross this extremely dangerous intersection. We're only looking to have some type of incident happen. And then right next to it is El Patio Bar, which we had a hearing. Some of the council members voted to have it closed, some voted to keep it open, even though we had the greatest mass shooting in our city's history. And yet again, we were on the national news. So we're gonna put a little park right across the street. And we already stated that all of this, all of that unwanted element who was bringing all this criminality was hanging out directly outside of that vicinity. So now we're actually creating somewhere so those people could congregate right in front of this bar. It's gonna be a shame when someone gets hit by a car trying to cross the street to go to this pocket park. And it's really, like I said, dangerous, and anybody who knows this community knows that that's not probably a street that you really want to cross.
Thank you. Resolution R-139-424, authorizing the acceptance of the bid and awarding a contract for the Phase 1-2023 Road Improvement Program, Inslee Street, Thomas Street, Brock Avenue, and Anton Street to DLS Contracting, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $759,254.95, pending certification of funds. R-14424, authorizing the acceptance of the bid and awarding a contract for the Phase 3 2023 Road Improvement Program, Washington Street, to DLS Contracting, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $327,702.02, pending certification of funds. R-141-424, authorizing a refund in the amount of $400 to Philip Bishop, a tenant, for the return of his key deposit for 4 keys in the Perth Amboy Harborside Marina. R-142-424, authorizing a contract with Creative Bus Sales for a 2024 StarCraft All-Star 26 bus through the HGAC contract VTO1-21, product code ZCF, in the amount not to exceed $133,705. R-143-424, authorizing settlement of the workers' compensation litigation via an order approving settlement in the matter entitled Maria Edwards versus City of Perth Amboy, CP number 2018-24112, for the amount of $7,500. R-144, authorizing settlement of the workers' compensation litigation via an order approving settlement in the matter entitled Fernando Ramirez versus City of Perth Amboy, CP number 2022-22620, for the amount of $55,302. R-145-424, authorizing the acceptance of a grant from the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, NJDCA, for the Convery Boulevard Pedestrian Safety Grant in the amount of $2 million.
Council President, can I get a timeline of when this project should be completed, or what project this is going to be?
Ms. Vasquez?
Also just an update on the updated vision. I know we had an update previously, but I know time has passed.
Council members, so this evening, before you, you have the acceptance of a grant. Once that's accepted, we enter into an agreement, which would then give us 2 years to fully execute the terms of this grant. Not to say that it's going to take us 2 years to execute the grant, but the agreement allows for that. I understand that the school is opening in September, but again, we've just got these funds, so I won't say that the improvements are going to happen by then. We all know the process. We all know that once you have an agreement, you come out with a bid, it has to come before you to go out to bid, then you award a bid, and then all that takes several months. So while the school is set to open in September, these improvements will not be done by that, if that's the answer you were looking for. I will say that we are working to revamp the plan for those safety measures. Initially, there was some discussion about a pedestrian crossover or pedestrian bridge. But we are, because it is a state road, we're working with NJDOT to solidify or to come up with alternate measures for safety and crossing. But I will say, outside of this $2 million, we are working with NJDOT for traffic calming measures. We do have a call with them tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. to review the final traffic calming measures, which will include potentially changing some lanes, some additional flashing beacons, timing of lights, and things that the state call quick fixes to calm the traffic concerns in that area.
What's the timeline of those calming measures?
Traffic calming measures will be done before are expected, again, they're not ours, they're NJDOT, so I can't speak to their process, but they are expected to be completed before the start of the school year.
Thank you.
So the pedestrian crossway will not be completed before the school opens. The last couple of years, we already had a couple of fatalities in that area. This is the most dangerous area in our community. Responsible development. We knew the school was in the works for a while, and we knew where it was going to be located. We have the same players. Everyone who is involved has been involved in this project for years. I've seen traffic grants come before the council every year that gets approved, that the money could have been allocated for the pedestrian walkway to protect the interest of our children. We're going to have thousands of kids crossing that street every day. Hopefully, this would get built. This should have been in the works when we knew that the school was going to be located there. We should have thought about the safety of our children. But now, it's a shame. Hopefully, we will have no accidents. There'll be no incidents in that area, because I think some people, it should be on their conscience then.
R-146, 424, referring the Woodbridge Perth Amboy redevelopment plan to the Perth Amboy Planning Board for its review and comment pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law. R-147, 424, authorizing a three-year contract.
Madam President, again, with this partnership that we're going to have, I was recently reading a story in the newspapers about a development in Woodbridge. This is for the Woodbridge Center Mall. And this is with their leadership. This is responsible leadership. They would not accept any housing or warehouse components for that development. Yet we are celebrating groundbreaking for warehouses. The surrounding communities are moving forward, and they know that the addition of warehouses has a negative impact on their community, and especially when it comes to property values and the health of its residents. And we're entering into a partnership. Maybe we should take their lead also and think the same way about warehouses going forward.
R-147, 424, authorizing a three-year contract with Cardiopulmonary Diagnostic LLC for provision of cancer screening services every 3 years to full-time firefighters in the amount not to exceed $105,000, which is fully reimbursable through the New Jersey State Treasurer order. R-148, 424, authorizing up to 60 days of paid injury leave to firefighter Richard Novo through June 15, 2024. R-149, 424, confirming acceptance of the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, DCA, American Rescue Plan Firefighters Grant Program for the fiscal year 2024 in the amount of $70,000. R-150, 424, authorizing refund of the registration fee for the 2024 girls softball majors in the amount of $50 for Anaheli Lahara. R-151, 424, authorizing refund of 3 handicap parking space application fees in the total amount of $300 for denial by the police department. R-152, 424, authorizing refund of tax exempt fully disabled veteran tax overpayment to Robert Estrada, 629 Hanson Avenue, in the amount of $894.26. R-153, 424, authorizing the insertion of revenue in the calendar year 2024 budget pursuant to NJSA 48, column 4-87, chapter 159, PL 1948 for the UEZ Student Workforce Training Grant in the amount of $35,000. R-154, 424, authorizing the insertion of revenue in the calendar year of 2024 budget pursuant to NJSA 48, column 4-87, chapter 159, PL 1948 for the recycling tonnage grant in the amount of $130,909.24. R-155, 424, authorizing the insertion of revenue in the calendar year 2024 budget pursuant to NJSA 48, column 4-87, chapter 159, PL 1948, for the American Rescue Plan firefighter grant in the amount of $70,000. R-156, 424, authorizing the insertion of revenue in the calendar year 2024 budget pursuant to NJSA 48, column 4-87, chapter 159, PL 1948 for the Station House Adjustment Counseling Grant in the amount of $59,400. R-157, 424, authorizing the insertion of revenue in the calendar year 2024 budget pursuant to NJSA 48, column 4-87, chapter 159, PL 1948 for the Entrepreneurship Program grant in the amount of $30,026. R-158, 424, authorizing the insertion of revenue in the calendar year 2024 budget pursuant to NJSA 40, column 4-87, chapter 159, PL 1948 for the Youth Mentoring Services grant in the amount of $61,200. R-159, 424, authorizing the insertion of revenue in the calendar year 2024 budget pursuant to NJSA 48, column 4-87, chapter 159, PL 1948 for the Veterans Memorial Complex grant in the amount of $1 million. R-160, 424, authorizing a release agreement between Kelly Eford versus City of Perth Amboy docket number MID-L-1427-23 in the amount not to exceed $35,000.
Council President, can we discuss that matter in closed session?
We can add that one.
Yeah, sure.
R-161, 424, authorizing the 23-24 renewal issuance of new license for the Perth Amboy Post number 45, the American Legion, Inc. We have communications. So for the closed session resolution, 138-424, authorizing a closed session at the April 10th, 2024 meeting to discuss workers' compensation litigation, Maria Edwards versus City of Perth Amboy, and Fernando Ramirez versus City of Perth Amboy. We're also adding the R-160, authorization of a release agreement between Kelly Effort versus City of Perth Amboy. I need a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Oh, no, roll call.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio? Yes. Councilman Torres?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Public portion, 5 minutes maximum per speaker. I need a motion to open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ken Ballard, 359 Brook Avenue. Isn't his law firm representing Woodbridge redevelopment? Now, I spoke to the president over in Woodbridge. They do pilots too. But they don't give the money away for the kids. They give money to the schools. Over here, we take the money away. So there's no money for the children over here. Now, we did those pilots and built that walkway, or did something out there with it. But no, we're giving away millions of dollars of school money to big corporations. And that's a law firm that's doing it. He doesn't do the same way in Woodbridge. Ask him how pilots go over in Woodbridge. They don't do that. So we have that lawyer, he works in Woodbridge. Now we have another lawyer that works in Perth Amboy, I guess, because his law firm's not doing both. Are you? The Woodbridge and Perth Amboy redevelopment? Didn't you used to do redevelopment?
Sir, I didn't make any presentation tonight, so I think that answers the
That's
question,
all
right?
right. Hey, but
If
that's
you
the
don't wanna
same what
hear-
I'm saying. He's the law firm. You're talking about redevelopment between Woodbridge and Perth Amboy. That's their law firm. Who does the pilots over in Woodbridge? Their law firm. Over in Woodbridge, do they give away money that's supposed to be going to schools? That's the question here. Over here, we do. Why do we do that? Why doesn't the county not take their cut? You don't think the county's making millions and millions of dollars? Why do they need to get their cut? Can we take it away from the schools? Now, according to Murphy's governor plan, there's going to be 100 school districts that are going to lose money for their schools. But we give the money away to the rich. And you guys sat on the Board of Education. So you're giving away money that should be going to children. You tell me $1 million here, $1 million there, couldn't be used for the children? No. No. The peanut gallery back there too.
Madam President, it's kind of
Uh,
hard for me to
wait a
hear
minute.
him with all the noise that's going on in the audience.
Right. So we're gonna do redevelopment, we're putting the warehouses in, they're putting housing in and everything, and even the housing looks a little bit nicer than ours. So what is happening here? And we are the dumping ground. Councilman Torres, you're right. We are the dumping ground. We're not getting anything out of here but warehouses. Our waterfront's being used for that. Woodbridge got money to put something in on the boardwalk. Carteret got money. Where did we get? Where was our money? Nobody cares about Perth Amboy. We're the dumping ground. We're gonna have the warehouses and we have everything. You said it here, port and redevelopment pilots. So you're gonna give another pilot out to somebody, because McCabe likes Kushner, you're probably gonna give him another one. So, no more for the children. Nothing. Nothing for anything here. The county doesn't need to take millions of dollars. If you look at your tax bill, it says the county, we give that much money to the county. What are we getting back? I thought we were supposed to get a light on the Brunswick Avenue for that school. Did we get that light? Did we get the road that the county promised us from Convery to Amboy Avenue for those warehouses? No, we didn't get that either. So the county promises and we get nothing. And like I said, that walkway ain't gonna be done. And I don't talk about calming area. What are they gonna do? Tell them to go 5 miles an hour? You think people are gonna stop? Had a car going the other day, killed somebody 100 miles an hour. Not here, but somewhere else. But that's what happens. And peanut gallery over here.
Over here.
Oh, yeah, I know, but the peanut gallery can do what they want. So that's the problem, and what they're doing here, and what you guys are doing. You're not getting no standard redevelopment here, you're getting garbage. Ask him what he does in pilots over in Woodbridge compared to what we got here. I had a conversation with the president over in Woodbridge. Matter of fact, I know him. Mr. Puccio, you should know him well too. Worked for the school system for a long time. Now he's the council president over there. But they don't give away money for the children or schools or anything else like that. And they might have smart development, they may not have smart development. He's negotiating it, I don't know. But it's gotta stop giving away money for the children, for the kids. You can't keep relying on the state of handing us millions of dollars. Because if it stops and they cut it 10%, you're not gonna be able to afford the taxes. And all this redevelopment warehouses, you're gonna get nothing out. You're gonna get nothing. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Council
Anybody
President,
else?
it is very hard for me to concentrate on what our residents have to say when there's so much commotion and noise going on in the audience. Can you please tell the audience to have some decorum?
Anybody else?
Good evening, Jose Amarante, 681 Cortlandt Street. So I want to talk about the zoning board. Just to give you a little bit of background, I'm a longtime member of that board. I've been on that board for 9 years. I will not recite all of the chairpersons that I've served under. So first it was Tom Ward, and then after that it was Mike Savoya, and then after that it was Linda Cruz, and then after that it was Ron Ray, and then after that it was Maria Garcia, and then after that it was myself, and then now we have a new chairperson, Carlos Jimenez. So I've been on this board for a long time, and unfortunately, last month, one of the worst things in recent memory has happened. So we had a packed room, the very same room was packed with residents, ready to hear a case, and unfortunately, we had a couple members that decided not to show up to the meeting, and they did not tell anybody that they were not coming. So consequently, we did not have a quorum to hear this case. So a lot of people were disappointed in the fact that we could not hear this case, and it's a big deal. Like I said, I've been here for a long time, and something like this, I consider to be absolutely disrespectful to the people who decided to show up and spend their time to show up to this meeting. And unfortunately, I need your help in order to make this right. So I would like to have no confidence votes against these members. And I think that's appropriate in this situation. And I do believe I have the support. Now, we do have an ordinance, 430-26, subsection C, and that allows for the removal of board members for just cause, but it has to be a hearing before you. So I came here tonight to get your opinion as to what should I do. Should I proceed with this no confidence vote, or should I just let it go as I have done with other things from this particular board? Thank you very much.
What I would like to see from the members is if we're able to get an attendance and see how many times they've missed meetings, and also how long they have been serving, and also if these members have taken the necessary courses that they need to be full members, if they're if they took the courses that they needed for the zoning.
Somebody has to keep track of that. I'm just a board member, so if I were the chair, I would like to keep an attendance record. And I would like to remind members if there's any training. I know every year I go to the State League, and there's a wonderful course there on the land use. All the latest cases are summarized for us, so we get a really good education. But I don't know if anybody tracks that, so it's not really our responsibility. Now, here's another thing. Tomorrow is our next meeting. Now, it came to my attention that we're not going to have a zoning officer present at this meeting. So, again, there's a possibility that this case will not be heard again. And all of this is going to our timeline. We need to decide this case within a certain period. Otherwise, it goes by statutory approval. So the developer gets everything they want, and the city has no input. And this time, I believe the city's fault is at fault for this, for not for allowing the zoning officer to go on vacation during our meeting. So I have questions, and I do believe other members have questions of particular zoning matters that I think that person should be there. So this is going to go down again tomorrow, and I just want to make this council aware. You do control our appointments. So I would like to give you this little report card on you. Thank you.
Hold it, wait there. Who's the chairman?
Carlos Jimenez, sir. And he
The
was.
lawyer?
Excuse me?
The lawyer?
Yes, yes, he's an attorney.
Oh, he's the
So, again, tomorrow we will have another meeting, so, there were more people here at that meeting than there is tonight. So I think there might be even more, and we're gonna have questions about what happened. Some of these people have yet to reach out, and we have no idea what happened. So, I think that these members should be removed, but I need your help to at least figure this out so that we can make it, legally and acceptable. Some of these people, they do wanna serve. You know, we don't want to take that away from people, but at the same time, the oath of office must be respected.
I do agree with Council Torres that we should get some type of attendance record and see, you know, each member. Somebody has to have record of that, and we'll see how many people have, you know, missed meetings.
I just think that when you don't give any notice whatsoever, it's the same as a mutiny. It's the same as a president going on vacation during the middle of a war. And this is exactly what's happening. So that's all I have for tonight.
Has it been done? I mean, I'm in the para, we have members that can't attend the meetings, but they are attending via phone.
We
I
had
don't know
nothing
if
like that
that's,
whatsoever. Sorry to cut you off, but we had no notice. We had no idea. There was a big hole right there where you sit,
Are you asking
and
if
some
there's
of
a
us
Zoom
didn't know what was going on.
Not a Zoom option, that they were attending via phone, telephone.
Yeah,
So-
the members who were there that night, we had to basically respond to all of these residents, and it was very embarrassing. Like I said, I've been on that board for a long time, so people do look up to me. They recognize my face, but there was nothing that I could do, even as the vice chair, because we didn't have a quorum. So again, you control our appointments, and I think that we should at least get an answer from these individuals.
How many times has this happened where you don't have a quorum?
This has happened the first time.
This is the first time it has happened.
Yes,
And you
yes,
had
but normally, you should at least let somebody know so that we can have our people management, get our alternates
Well,
in
like-
so that we can at least hear the case, because last month was pretty bad. There are a lot of people here, and I believe that will happen again tomorrow because we don't have a zoning officer.
I think that's the
Okay.
general protocol. They should be notifying the
And I
chair.
believe that nobody knows if this person is coming. So again, we're gonna be stuck. I was here for a planning board meeting, and that's where I found out. Thank God I came, but, you know, had I not gone, then I would have not known, and I don't think the other members know yet. So that'll be another shot for tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mr.
you.
Green, is there a way that you can find out the attendance?
You know who keeps the attendance for them? Wouldn't be
There
your
should
office?
be, yeah, there should be an administrative secretary for each
Yeah,
board.
For,
Yeah.
meeting minutes
Yeah.
and
Right.
those
Their
who
own-
attend would be there. Sure.
Yeah.
But I think on top of obtaining that, what can we do? Because I know the zoning board is very important, and when we didn't have alternates, and that was brought to our attention, we did advocate in that area, as we do have that power. So what else can be done, of course, other than obtaining the attendance records? To help the board with oversight, because usually I'm in the planning board, and I know that the chair does always refer to everybody and make sure that there's a plan in place for attendance.
Right, because you're
And
saying this is the
confirmation.
first time it happened, the first time. So, and like you're saying, the president of that board should call people before the meeting. I mean, there's different things managerial that he should do for that board that he should be doing.
Well, I'm just sorry to say that the president himself was one of those members that decided not to tell anybody and go to this meeting. So there's really nothing in place right now, and that's why I believe I need your help. So we can go through this process, and I just would like to let everybody know about this because I think it's very important. Again, the zoning board has a deadline to hear this case. So if this doesn't get decided by us, then it will go before statutory approval. So that way, they're gonna get everything they want, we won't be able to provide input, and that's it.
So you're saying
Maybe
that.
I can call him.
Sorry, so you're saying tomorrow you're anticipating that they're going to be, you're not going to have a
Tomorrow we
quorum?
have another meeting. I did send an email out. I got certain people's attention about the no confidence vote. You know, I think that works as a great parenting style, but now we're not gonna have a zoning officer, so the same thing might happen again. I don't feel comfortable hearing this case without him, and I believe other members will feel the same way.
I'll reach out to the president of the mayor's office, because I'm sure they know the individual. We'll call him tonight, see if he's going to have the meeting tomorrow. If he can reach out to the board members, so he can have a quorum at
Thank you
least.
so much, I
I'll do
appreciate that.
I'll make sure
Thank
that
you.
happens.
Have a good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
They can still have the meeting even without the zoning officer, because a lawyer would then run it, correct? I'm just-
I would assume so, but I do very little land use stuff, so I don't want to offer. and
Yes,
sell it.
I have, so, yes. So as long as the lawyer's there for the board, the meeting can still occur. And of course, if you have a quorum, so I'll reach out to the president.
Okay, thank you.
I'll circle back. I'll make sure, I know someone probably has your number, so we'll circle back to you as well. Okay, yeah.
Anybody else?
This is disturbing to hear. I hear a lot, especially with recent developments, that there's been very little input or very little interest of the residents to ask questions or to participate in the process. And here we have a situation where a room full of residents were very interested in something that was going to pertain to development, and their questions were unaddressed. Hopefully, this was just a coincidence. But I've heard from, from leadership that there's been very little participation for the residents on the residents' parts for just not coming to the meetings. But at the same time, when they do, we have an obligation. So it's sad to hear.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good evening, council. I just want to highlight one of the resolutions for the firefighter cancer screening. Last year, New Jersey passed a legislation mandating cancer screening for career firefighters that have been on the job for more than 3 years. And a lot of times mandates come out that are unfunded, but I have to thank the two state firefighter unions, the FMBA with President Ed Donnelly and the PFANJ with President Matt Caliente. They advocated so that the state will fully fund the cancer screening for our firefighters. Heart attacks and cancer are the one and two killers of firefighters. So if we could advocate for physical fitness and medicals, which we already do, now to catch cancer, if there's any early, it'll save lives, because we did the boat dedication on Friday in honor of Captain Mike Barczewski, who died at 48 from cancer. So this cancer screening, I'm very grateful to the state for passing the bill that's going to fully fund all of our cancer screening, because that would have been $105,000 we would have had to come up with and then get reimbursed. The way it's going to happen is we get the testing, the state gives us some money, and then we pay. So no money's coming out of the budget, but they're fully funding this mandate that they made to actually save firefighters' lives. So I just want to thank the state and thank the firefighter union. It's going to save firefighters' lives statewide. So, and we're the first municipality, I believe, in Jersey that's not on the state health plan to actually put a contract like this in place. It's taken over a year to get here, but we're finally there. And once the contract's signed, we can actually send firefighters for that screening. And I pray that none is found, but if it is found, detect it early and taken care of so we don't lose any other members. That's all.
That is great.
Okay.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing none, I need a motion to close public.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to go to closed session.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're going to close session. When we come back, we will have the city council meeting. Thank you. I need a motion to come back from closed session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I need a motion to adjourn the caucus meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Let's start the council meeting. This is the council meeting for April 10th, 2024. The presiding officer of the council, Milady Tejeda, wishes to advise the audience that notice of this meeting has been filed with the Home News Tribune the Star Ledger, and posted on the bulletin board in the city clerk's office and on the city's website, indicating that today's meeting is being held in the council chamber, City Hall, 260 High Street, right after the caucus and closed session meeting. The council president Tejeda, as a courtesy of the governing body, I will ask all individuals present, including members of the audience, to please turn off all cell phones and electronic devices. Should you need to make a telephone call, please go out into the hallway and speak in a low voice so as not to disturb the ongoing meeting. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Present.
Councilwoman Morales?
Present.
Councilman Puccio?
Present.
Councilman Torres?
Present.
Council President Tejeda?
Present. We stand for the invocation. Dear Lord, please watch over this governing body. Please give us the wisdom and the understanding of what is needed in our community. Also protect our troops wherever they are, abroad or in this country. Protect their family, also our children, and the mental health of each individual who lives in this country and everywhere else. And with that, I say amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we had the presentation at the caucus meeting, and now we go ordinance, public hearing, 5 minutes maximum per speaker per ordinance. An ordinance amending chapter 432 inclusionary zoning of the city code requiring all applicable developments to include a mandatory on-site affordable housing set aside. We're just gonna have a motion to vote to hold the hearing pending until April 24th. I need a motion.
Second.
Roll. Oh, that's true, 29. I'm sorry. April 29th is our next meeting. Okay, and roll call, please.
And it's April 29th?
Until the 29th, yes. The clerks are on, it's a Monday.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Councilman Torres?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Number 2, an ordinance to amend an ordinance entitled, an ordinance designating restricted parking spaces for use by the handicapped persons ordinance number 380-85, and amendments adopted July 2nd, 1985, also known as Chapter 255C of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy, and this is about deletion. I need a motion to open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oops. It's open to the public. My clerk is not paying attention. Anybody for this? I see none. I need a motion to close public hearing.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to adopt.
Move.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Councilman Torres?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Agenda, public comment. Citizen may address the council on any matter on the agenda which does not have its own scheduled public hearing. Citizens shall be permitted to speak once for a maximum of 5 minutes. I need a motion to open to the public.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody wants to speak on anything on the agenda? Seeing none, I need a motion to close public comment.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Bids. Bids were received on March 19, 2024 for the following. Number 1, Parks and Public Property Maintenance Contract for April 1st, 24 to November 8th, 24, with 2 one-year renewals. Custom Care Services, Inc., for $141,500 each year. That was the bid awarded to. Phase 3, 2023 Road Improvement Program, Washington Street. DLS Contracting, Inc., the base was $233,514 with 52 cents. That was the awarded one. Added alternate, $94,187 with 50 cents. Cumulative, $327,702 with 2 cents. JAD's construction base was $239,389 with 32 cents. All additional alt was $94,934 with 5 cents. Cumulative, $334,323 with 57 cents. Riverview paving base was $279,795 with 75 cents. Additional alt bid, $109,441 with 85 cents, and the cumulative was $389,237 with 60 cents. Top Line Construction Corporation base was $273,697 with 22 cents. Additional alt, $117,888 with 3 cents. Cumulative, $391,585 with 25 cents. Black Rock ENT LLC base was $282,979 with 45 cents. Additional alt was $116,113 with 30 cents. The cumulative was $3,999 with $92 with 75 cents. S Brothers, Inc., base was $311,609 with 91 cents. Additional alt was $118,222 with 60 cents. Cumulative, $429,832 with 51 cents. Phase 1, 2023 Road Improvement Program, Inslee Street, Thomas Street, Brock Avenue, and Anton Street. DLS Contracting, Inc., base bid was $690,565 with 95 cents. Additional alt, $68,687. Cumulative, $759,252 with 95 cents. Crossroads Paving, base was $775,492. Additional alt, $78,870. Cumulative was $854,362. JAD's construction base bid was $795,565 with 77 cents. Additional alt, $59,076 with 10 cents. Cumulative, $854,641 with 87 cents. Black Rock ENT LLC base, $800,089 with 5 cents. Additional alt, $77,755 with 45 cents. Cumulative, $877,344 with 50 cents. Riverview Paving base, $820,028 with 75 cents. Additional alt, $74,910 with 95 cents. Cumulative, $884,939 with 70 cents. S Brothers Paving base, $827,482 with 75 cents. Additional alt, $63,936 with 65 cents. Cumulative, $891,419 with 40 cents. Top Line Construction Corporation, base bid was $878,522 with 42 cents. Additional alt bid was $73,763 with 16 cents. Cumulative bid, $925,285 with 58 cents. Capital Paving and Contracting, base bid was $23,829 with 85 cents. Additional alt, $88,947 with 40 cents. Cumulative, $1,012,797 with 25 cents. Reports. Fallon Barczewski, tax collector, submitted the monthly report of collection for the months of February 2024. Ordinance, first reading, no public discussion. An ordinance to adopting the Woodbridge, Perth Amboy redevelopment plan in accordance with the local redevelopment and housing law. I need a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio? Councilman Torres?
No.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Number two, an ordinance authorizing a lease management agreement between the County of Middlesex and the City of Perth Amboy for the design, construction, and maintenance of a park to be located at 410 Fayette Street, Block 107, lots 5, 6, 7, and 8. I need a motion.
Move it.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Councilman Torres?
No.
And Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Look over the resolutions and let me know what you want to pull.
146.
146. Anything else? Are you good? You're good? Okay, so the consent agenda is R 139, 424 through 145, 424, R 147, 424 through 161, 424. I need a motion for the consent agenda.
Move it.
Second.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Councilman Torres?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. R 146, 424, referring the Woodbridge Perth Amboy redevelopment plan to the Perth Amboy Planning Board for its review and comment pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law. I need a motion.
Move it.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Councilman Torres?
No.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Public portion, 5 minutes maximum per speaker. I need a motion to open to the public.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody wants to come and address the council about anything? Seeing none, I need a motion to close.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Council comments, Councilwoman Cruz?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. And of course, congratulations to the wrestling champion winners and congratulations to the coach, to their families. I'm definitely proud to be a Perth Amboy alumni and proud of all the hard work our students are doing in and out of the championship. And that's pretty much it. And congratulations to the firefighters as well. I think that's something that's really great, especially as that leads to the deaths of the firefighters with, as you mentioned, with heart attack or cancer. So I'm really glad that that's being funded by the state. And thank you all for being here. Have a great night.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks you once again for everyone that attended tonight. I also want to congratulate our young ladies, Aaliyah and Elizabeth, for their accomplishments. I mean, that's just, it's a wonderful, always to hear something great with our young individuals in the community, because they do have to face some challenges, and with their dedication, with their school, and maintain some, great, great grades in school and maintaining that. It's really, good success, and they will be an inspiration to other young individuals. And I also want to say that I had the pleasure and honor to attend yesterday's Gateway press release. I believe personally, my opinion, I believe it is a major movement towards progress in our city. It's, making, it's going to generate jobs, and it's giving us some tax revenue. And just looking at it in a positive way, it has been such an eyesore for, I don't know how many years, like, over 25, 30 years, even more possibly. And knowing how contaminated that land is, it's been very difficult and challenging to find a developer to, do what they need to do and spend the money to remediate that type of land. And I'd rather have someone trying to fix it at this moment, and they also were, lucky enough to donate back to us, to the city, for our use. With, being that it's such a contaminated land. So it is something that it is to look forward to, and, being that it's the gateway and the entrance to the city, I think it's wonderful progress. And just another thing, as Mr. Torres mentioned before, regarding the incident back in March 17th with the cars drifting and all that. Back a few years ago, we did kind of suggest, I guess, regarding the police substation in that area. I think that would have been a great idea, having a police substation there, because now that this area is being redeveloped, I think a substation in that area would be a great idea. Possibly would help, more with public safety and, getting people out quicker, especially in the main entrance of our city. And with that being said, just beautiful weather coming. Enjoy and have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Puccio?
I'm actually good council president. I have no comments today.
Thank you. Councilman Torres?
Just a brief mention of that contaminated land that now is going to be a warehouse. Currently, that contaminated land is not harming any of our residents. But soon, when the warehouses are there and the trucking is there and the increased carbon emissions is there, it is going to harm all of our residents. And going off of that, the health, the well-being of currently of the residents and the future health and well-being of the residents is the most important thing for me. Stating that, the last couple of weeks, I read New Jersey's COVID response report, over 900 pages. I digested this report, and to see how can we improve the next time around. What did we do wrong? Now I'm crunching our county numbers and our city numbers. I already know that our city has some of the worst numbers. And Governor Murphy is calling for all the municipalities to have a plan in place just in case something like this happens again in the future. So in the near future, I'm going to be asking the departments of what do they have in place. I'm going to also address on how we reacted to the COVID and to see if we could come up with a better response just in case if something like this happens again in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to everyone who participated tonight. It was a good meeting, and I just want to say be safe now that we have such a nice weather, and hope everything goes well with you and your family. Thank you. Good night. I need a motion to adjourn.
Move it.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's good to see you all again.
You too.